Oh my goodness. Hello there, everyone. It's just Caitlin or kaitsim here on YouTube, and we're back, baby. And this time I'm pumped about it. I've been sitting on this build since, let's see, take my cursor over here. What's the date on this bad boy? Come on, show me. Doesn't show me. Great, love that for us. I don't know how long I've had this. However, it's been a long time. Like legitimately a really long time. It could be... Oh, July 8th? July 8th? It's August 29th that I'm recording this. So here's the thing. I went on a super big, gameplay. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure. I just wanted to play the game a lot. I wanted to play The Sims. I didn't want to build for a little while, so I ended up doing a lot of gameplay, and I have 2 legacies going, so I ended up doing a lot of legacy stuff. Problem is that when I did a lot of legacy stuff, then I had a lot of episodes filmed and not a lot of time to edit said episodes, because speed builds, although they are, I think, just as time consuming as like gameplay or let's plays, it is really easy to feel like you're being more productive than you are because of the fact that you put like 0.2 seconds excuse me, 0.2 seconds of your time into like quickly cutting down the speed build. Then it's just like, delaying the inevitable of having to actually do the voiceover. But other than that, it's like pretty easy. But let's talk about what we're doing. I'm so sorry. This is going to be the new home for my generation 1 of my Not So Berry. It is the mint generation, as one could probably assume based off the mint outline on the ground, but also because this is a Mount Komorebi build, and that's where I'm playing my mint gen. I love this house. I really do. I think I had a lot of fun doing it, and I think what's interesting is I had not built in Mount Komorebi once. But prior to this, I had also not built a Japanese style home once prior to this. So I found a floor plan on Pinterest that I really used as my inspiration. And then I wanted to try to the best of my ability to make the house feel authentic. Granted, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm saying authentic based off what I've seen other people build, whether that's Miss Simrino, Lil Simsy, Sim Lissy, Miss Griffey, Rachel Ped. Any of those people is who I tend to watch for all, for lack of a better term, my builds, plus this floor plan that I saw. So I was using that as my inspiration, and I was kind of basing the whole thing on that. So currently at the moment, after I finished the floor plan, which is this like interesting centered little hallway, which then leads to 2 bedrooms on the left side and then the common living space on the right side. I did end up putting the master bedroom also on the right side because that's, for lack of any better terms, that's just what I wanted to do. So then I wanted to make the roof this like traditional curved framed gable. I don't know the best way to like describe that, but that's what I'm gonna call it. So seems fine. But I had so much fun doing this, like so much fun. And once my Gen 1 sim, his name is Cole Patel moved in with his now girlfriend. Spoilers if you haven't seen the most recent Not So Berry episode. He moved in with his girlfriend Angel, and they accumulated quite a decent chunk of change, if you will. I accidentally didn't sell all of her furniture when I moved her in, so that might have helped, but realistically I would have gotten all that furniture anyways, right? Hold on, I have to sneeze. Thank you so much for being patient. That roof tile that I used, I'm sorry, why are there so many perfect mint swatches for stuff from Snow Escape? I'm just saying, like, look at how beautiful that thing is. It is so pretty. The roof swatch is a perfect mint. The little, I don't remember the name of those little, of the floor. Something mats, I'm not sure, but they have like a mint swatch. I'm sorry. Was this made for Not So Berry or what? I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, Lil Simsy did some of the builds for Not So Berry. So like, what if, can I make a conspiracy theory that they did it on purpose because of Lil Simsy? Maybe they were like, hey, let's do an ode to Lil Simsy and give some mint swatches on all these random things. Sounds perfect to me. I'm going with it. That's what I believe now. You can't tell me otherwise. So this is what I'm doing. I have like the center hallway, I called it. We can call it a breezeway. We can call it whatever. But essentially you walk in the front door and you can look straight out to the backyard. And then, like I said, to the right is all the common space. To the left is the bedrooms. I also wanted to make sure that at least one of the bathrooms, because I wanted to have 2 bathrooms, but I didn't have enough room in the floor plan to do 2 accurate traditional bathrooms. So I was looking at floor plans, and I know if you've seen other people build in Mount Como, you've probably already heard people talk about this, but traditionally in Japanese homes, it's not an appliance, every piece of the bathroom is in its own area. So I have a whole room for the toilet, a whole room for just the sink, and a whole room for what I did a tub shower combo. I don't think that's authentic, but like I tried. But regardless, so there's rooms for each of those individual things, and then the bathroom further down to the left side where the other 2 bedrooms are, which are going to be future children's bedrooms, that one is not authentic. So it has a sink and a toilet. It's like a half bath in one 2x2 room. I didn't have enough room to make it possible to do the sink and the toilet in individual places, so I did have to kind of go with it, but I wanted to ensure that I did a decent job in this bathroom of making that happen. The flooring all throughout here, it's pretty similar to what was in the last house. So I had downloaded a Tazkabaz house as a base game starter for Mount Como for Coleus to start in, and then I proceeded to kind of redo it for the finishes on the interior. So the Jungle Adventure wallpaper is perfect, the one in the bathrooms, and then the flooring I believe is from Spa Day, and it's also perfect. Also, the Jungle Adventure mint swatches of the appliances are amazing, and then these swatches of the Dream Home Decorator cabinets are so good. However, it felt like too much mint. So what I ended up doing instead is I went with white uppers, and I believe I ended up going with the light wood lower cabinets just to make sure that there was some sort of breaking up of the finishes. It just, having like that much mint in that small of a kitchen was pretty aggressive. So I toned it down, and then I completed that with a couple of the bar stools, and that is, other than the small little kotatsu table that we do end up fitting right next to the kitchen, that is like the main seating area. People don't, when I was doing gameplay, I've actually recorded, so I just put up episode 4 of my Not So Berry. I have 7 episodes recorded. I also have 7 or 8 episodes of Sims in Bloom recorded. I need to get with it. These poor Sims, I play with them, and then I like say in all my videos like, oh, give me ideas if you want, and then I proceed to continue to play. So even if you want to give me ideas, there's no time anymore. I've already lost the opportunity because I've continued for so long. But since this is a Not So Berry, Gen 1 in Not So Berry has to complete the Elements collection. So that element board, it's like a display of some kind, that has to be somewhere in here. Not only is it the perfect mint color, by the way, but super important for the task to be able to maintain and like keep track of all your the elements you've collected so far. So that ends up going in the corner by the kotatsu table because there was no other good space for it. I really wanted to have a coffee table in this living room, and so once I added that, the chair had to move to the corner, and then therefore the elements collection no longer had a good place to go. I do kind of move it around a lot. However, my Sim's girlfriend, Angel, she is a musician, so she needs her piano and her guitar, and I wanted to make sure she had an actual space for that because when she moved in to the original house, there was zero room for anything. So I made sure to give her some space in the master bedroom for that, which is that little nook back there where she has some, music space. She has a mirror, that vase of pampas grass from the Dream Home Decorator pack. Sorry, it was a stuff pack? Or was it a game pack? It might have been a game pack. I don't know. I don't know all the terms, mainly because I took a Sims 4 hiatus for 6 years. And then when I came back, there was just so much more stuff. I think the last time, or not the last time, but before I came back to The Sims, I played The Sims 4 when it came out. I had the Create a Sim demo. and all that. So I played it a long time ago. And then when I stopped playing was probably when I got to college, or was like newly in college, because I did graduate high school in 2013. I'm aging. I was trying to say aging and dating at the same time. I'm aging myself a lot right now, and I'm so sorry. But I ended up stopping playing just because I didn't have the time, nor did I have a good computer to do so. Now I do, so I've been going crazy. But when I stopped playing, I believe the only pack that was out at that time was Get to Work. And then I stopped playing for a while. And then I re-downloaded The Sims 4 maybe 6 months ago. And when I did that, oh my gosh, I looked and like my sister had bought a couple packs, and so I ended up having a few more. So I had like Seasons and Cats and Dogs, Parenthood, and I think one other one. And then I just went nuts. I have almost all of them now. I went a little crazy. I made some mistakes. I don't consider them mistakes because I enjoyed my time, but in reality, probably mistakes. So now I have all these packs. And so I have barely built or used most of them. And now we get to utilize Mount Como and the Snowy Escape pack and a lot of the furniture to kind of make it feel a little bit more traditional, which I think is super fun. I had so much fun building this house. And to be honest, by the time that I'm even recording this voiceover, I've already had to do a renovation on this house to add a second floor because we ran out of room for things again. So I just ended up doing a second floor reno. Not to mention, I mean, they have so much money. At the end of this, I still have $25,000, and like other than the children's bedrooms, it's essentially done. And I tried to blow money and it didn't work, but I don't know. I wanted it to have that super minty theme, but also have a lot of neutrals to kind of make it feel like a real house. So if you want to download and play in it, it doesn't feel like too much like a Not So Berry house. You know what I mean? So this is on the gallery. My gallery ID is kaitsim14. And the only thing is that like I said, did this build in July. So if you want to find it, you might have to scroll on my gallery just a hair. I believe it's named Mount Como Family Home. But you can tell by the outside with that like mint shingled roof, you can kind of tell that that's the one that I'm talking about. But I don't know. I really do enjoy this house. I did end up playtesting, and the only thing after I uploaded it, because I playtest when I start using my Sims inside of a house, the litter box that I put in the half bath did not function. So I ended up having to move it out into the little hallway right there on the other side of that sliding door. Like right now we're messing around with the cat food bowl, but then we're going to go to the other side of it, and that's where the litter box ends up getting moved. So when your Sims come in, just know that they're going to get a little messed up with that. The other problem I had, oh no, it wasn't a problem on this one. It was a problem on the last build, but that photo of Angel and Coleus that I just put on there, I do take out before I upload it, so it doesn't say that it has CC, because that selfie is considered quote unquote CC. And I didn't want that to hinder anybody from searching it on the gallery, so I do end up taking that out and then putting it back. But those are my Sims. I love them. They're beautiful, and I'm obsessed with them. But for the last house, the starter home, whenever I put the like wall mailbox out on the front porch, it kept saying that I didn't have a mailbox, so it would put like a real mailbox inside my house. This one I think was fine. So there is a wall mailbox eventually, but right now we are decorating a toddler's room for the future Rose gen. So the second generation of Not So Berry is Rose. And since there is a pink generation later, Rose, according to Lil Simsy, is considered the red generation. So I'm going through here and I'm just adding like all the cutesy pie little red things that I can. I also kind of kept like a red and yellow theme, not in like a tacky way, more of like a red and beige, but I definitely utilized a lot of the little camper's kit. And to be honest, I think that kit is so cute. I also used in the room next to this room, which is going to be the kids' room, or the child's room, kids' room, whatever. I used quite a bit of my first pet stuff, so like don't get too mad, but like it wasn't my best move, you know? So that is a little seat from the little camper's kit, and then that is a dollhouse from Little Camper's Kit. I think they're so cute. That seat, though, I turned so that you could see that like draping blanket, so you actually can't sit on it, and I end up putting something on top of it to make it seem almost like a nightstand. Technically it is not, and to be honest, I don't have kids yet, so I can't tell you if that works or not, or if it's in the way, but it's okay. Nothing major, nothing to worry about. Always something that can be changed later on. We can all just not panic. I think it's so funny, like, if you were to download my build and say I don't play test it, are you gonna get mad? I don't know. Like, I don't tend to be annoyed at the idea that somebody else like built something that didn't function. I just try to figure out how to make it work. Not to mention, let me know if you download a build off the gallery, do you use it exactly as is? Or do you then like go in and like renovate it to make it feel more relevant to your Sims? Because like you're going to move a random family in here, and unless you're doing the Not So Berry challenge and you're on the mint generation, this is going to make no sense to you. And your Sims happen to also be musicians. You know what I mean? Or need the Elements collection or have a microscope in your backyard, right? Because I end up doing both those things. So it's like, you'd probably go in and customize it. Well, I would think. So maybe it wouldn't matter. Even if something was like a hair unplayable, you could at least fix it. I don't know. I've never really thought about it because I like building. So I don't tend to download homes for my Sims unless I, like for this generation, I didn't really know how, or nor was I very inspired to build in Mount Como and have it feel authentic. So I ended up downloading that build from Tazkabaz, but then I went in and changed the whole thing. Like I bulldozed all the furniture and started over. Nothing in it was what she had originally. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just curious. So this kid's bedroom, like I said, I use a lot of My First Pet stuff, also a lot of the Little Campers kit, and then I put the little Scouts board in there because I thought that'd be a cute little activity for this future generation to have. There's not a lot of activities for kids, so I want to have something in there, plus the activity table so they can draw, and then they can obviously still use the dollhouse that's in the other room. But I do end up cluttering this up just a little bit. I end up adding a backpack, and I think like the rocket lamp somewhere. I don't remember if I put a night light, and if I didn't, I'm sorry, but I will definitely be adding one, and you probably should too, because without night lights, oh my God, it is absolute torture. Your kids wake up every 5 minutes and they're always crying and they're always scared of the monster under the bed, and then they wake up the parents and they have to go help them, and it's so, oh, look at that, I did it. Sometimes I remember things like this, and then you have to go help them, and it's just a lot. I know in MC Command Center you can turn it off, and I just haven't yet, but like, my goodness, what a pain in the butt, you know? But that kids room, I think, is just absolutely adorable. I love both of those rooms, the toddlers room and the kids room, and genuinely, I cannot wait until I have Sims, little kiddo Sims running around my family's house. I just love the family I have so much, and I want them to have kids, and they're not there yet. They are not there yet, but we're going to make it work, okay? So if you haven't seen any of my Not So Berry episodes and you're watching this and you're like, who are these crazy Sims that she's so obsessed with? I do have a playlist. You can go on my YouTube and you can find it. It's all of my Not So Berry Generation 1 episodes. There's only 4, like I mentioned, but a lot happens in 4 episodes, I must say. I play through about 3 days of game in each episode, unless there's like super big things happening, in which case I only do 2. So the episodes tend to be close to 30 minutes, so it's a little longer, but personally I feel like I'd rather see more, especially because I can't upload like every single day, week, you know, like it's hard for me to keep up. So I feel like having more is better than less, you know? More is more. Oh my gosh, I just choked. So now we are trying to add some clutter and some additional decoration into the parents' room, because I kind of just threw in like the main things that were needed and then kind of moved on. So we're getting some nightstand lamps. We're adding some plants. That's Angel's side of the bed. She gets a cute little orchid. And then we're going to be doing, I think, a little bit more clutter. Maybe we don't have room for it. Maybe I start landscaping. Yeah, I guess I do. Because in the kitchen, I added a laptop to the counters, but the only counter you have to cook on is the one in between the stove and the fridge, so I couldn't even clutter that if I wanted to. So now I'm going through, and when I do landscaping in particular worlds, actually all worlds, even if it's a base game world, I limit my packs to that world to the best of my ability. Unless I really want something from, say, the cottage living debug, because that debug is chef's kiss. Unless I really want that, I tend to limit it by base game and in this case, Snowy Escape. And so then I know that the plants that I am picking make sense for this world, because I get this, like, I don't want to say icky feeling, but when I start to place plants that don't match the surrounding area, it feels so fake that I just can't handle it. So right here, you see I am grabbing stuff from cottage living, but the majority of the plants aren't that. I just needed those taller ones to fit in those like weird nooks, because none of the Snowy Escape ones really made sense in there. But otherwise, like all of the low-lying like foliage and flowers and shrubs, I really tried to use either base game or Snowy Escape, because it makes a world of a difference when you're looking at the build compared to the surrounding area. And that's just something I would recommend, even if it's something that you don't typically use. Like, I don't typically use more shrubs than I do flowers or things like that, but in this case, I did kind of try to push myself to use a little bit more shrubbery and a little bit less flowers. It did help that there's that huge pop of color with that red tree in the front, which is a Snowy Escape tree, size down, I believe, once. And then out here, I mentioned that I was going to place that microscope, which I did, because the first generation of Not So Berry has to have the scientist career, and you have to master the logic skill. So I didn't have room for a chess table, but I did have room for a microscope, and I had money for it because we still have 16,000 simoleons and we're doing landscaping, which is mostly debug. So lots and lots of money. But we are going to finish out this video in about like a minute. So I'm going to say goodbye to you. If you enjoyed this, please like this video. Please comment down below if you think that I should try to dip my toes in some more Mount Como builds, maybe before they leave the world and the next generation kind of moves on to somewhere else. Maybe I should do like a new community space or something. I don't know. Just let me know. But comment down below if you have seen any of my Not So Berry episodes and if you're enjoying it so far as well. I hope you do want to check it out and watch this house be played in, because I feel like it's super fun. I love this house. I really do. My first build in Mount Como, and I'm so proud of it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss more builds, more episodes of any Let's Plays that I'm doing, whether it's Not So Berry or Sims in Bloom. And I hope to see you all next time. What do I say? I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, month, or year. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.